Hello and welcome back to the Talking Parra podcast. This is episode number 7 for round 7, reviewing round number 6 and previewing round number 7. We have in the house tonight, we've got the original crew back tonight. We have Matty Tate from M Tatey Sports TV. We have Hayden from the Entertain House. He's back with us, back off the bench. We got myself, Troy, from the Parra Cave podcast, and we have our illustrious host. We have Mr. Adam Martin. Over to you, Adam. How was your Easter? How was your Easter Monday?
Yeah, thanks, Troy. Yeah, not too bad. A bit too much chocolate, and a bit crook across the weekend, but enough about me. I think we're going to cross straight to Hayden and get his thoughts on the game on Monday.
Yeah, mate, as I did say off camera, tough seats. Enjoyed Easter, but man, I could see the Tigers scoring all their tries towards the end on that left edge. And I hate Accor Stadium if you're not sitting on the side, sitting behind the post. It was the same situation for Good Friday. I went to the Bulldogs and the Rabbitohs, and look, we snuck into some better seats later in the match, very late in the match.
Can I just interrupt you there for a second, Hayden? Were you in a Bulldogs jersey at that game?
Yes, I was in a Bulldogs. I'm not a Bulldogs fan, but it is all for the vlogs, as people know.
It was April Fool's Day, Troy. Watch the video.
Can we just... What's the punishment if we get beat by the Bulldogs next week? Because that's your fault if we do.
What, me
Hayden's got to wear a Bulldogs jersey.
If we get beat by the Bulldogs next week, what's your punishment?
I don't know.
I reckon... I was going to say 50 lashings, but it's probably a bit too harsh. So
you'll have to wear the Bulldogs jersey in the next podcast video.
No, because I'll just continue the curse. No, I reckon something worse.
We'll try and think about that one. And
you got to wear one of your Mrs. St. George jerseys. There you go.
To a game.
No, it's on the podcast next week.
Oh,
we get beat by the Dogs.
All right.
I wanted to be a really tight one too. Done deal. All right, continue with your thoughts. Sorry, Hayden. Before you let's just cross that. So we had a bit of a chat off camera. So the Bulldogs game on Friday, there was roughly a crowd of 35,000, meaning 50,000 empty seats, right? And you found a way to move. At the Parramatta Tigers game, there was 28,000, which meant there was 57,000 empty seats. But you couldn't find a way to move then? Like even with the extra 7,000 here?
Well, with the Parramatta game, the section that I was sitting in was all reserve seating. With the Bulldogs and the Rabbitohs game, it was general admission. So there were a few times where I thought about moving seats. And the seats I was actually looking at, I know there was still, as you said, about 7,000 available there, but people were moving into those seats. The good thing about the Bulldogs and the Rabbitohs game, rain started to hit, and that's when Tom said, just sneak past them, the guys in orange or the girls in orange, and get some good seats down there in the rain, and people were, moving out of the venue. So that's why we went down there. But as for the Parramatta game, it was all kind of reserve seating. And I thought it'd be a blessing in disguise having row 3, but it was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, we're a family show. Can we get that language down, plee? But
anyway, so we'll see you at Accor Stadium for the grand final then in row 3, will we?
Can we get your thoughts on the game now, or what?
Okay, yeah, Easter Monday game. Hayden, what's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought it was an entertaining game. If I was a neutral, would have absolutely loved it. Probably still enjoyed it. It was nail-biting stuff, which seems to be the type of footy we've been playing all season at the moment, losing games by 4 points, winning games by 6. There's not really a game where we've, blown a team out of the park or really the other way around, haven't really been blown out of the park, which is probably positive signs for us as well. It was great to get the win, an important 2 points, and move up a spot on the ladder. I thought Will Penasini is once again showing just how good of a centre he is. We're just consistently talking about how good his footy is, and that contract distraction of Mitch has definitely gone away and seems to be playing his best footy. And I guess we'll all speak about it later, but spoiler alert, Mitchell Moses, absolutely my man of the match. And yeah.
That's it? Nothing else?
Dylan Brown was quiet again. When's he going to turn up?
Anything on the right-hand side of the field that you thought might have got your attention?
Oh, there were plenty of tries on the right-hand field, and I had to look at a big screen behind me just to see those tries.
It is a big screen, though. It's a very big screen.
I did see Gutherson's try, and I thought
your screen.
Who was the part? It was Bryce Cartwright the pass.
No, Dylan to it.
Dylan threw a good pass for Gutho to go over. That was the only try that I really got to see besides the Tigers ones in the second half.
Riveting stuff, Hayden. Look, It's not a very good advertising.
1 minute, one minute he's saying, "Oh, waiting for Dylan to turn up." Who threw the pass? Oh, Dylan.
Great to have you back, Hayden.
Riveting stuff, Hayden.
I'm not going
to go to the New South Wales government now and say core stadiums definitely should sign an agreement for the next 5 years based on that review. But wonderful stuff. Matt, watching at home, hopefully get a bit better review from you.
Yeah, it was good until the second half. But yeah, it was a bit concerning that most of our tries were scored off kicks. But how easy it was every time we got the ball in their 20, we seemed to score. It was a bit frustrating that we couldn't go on with it. It's like they went away from the game plan in that second half and was just trying stuff they didn't need to be trying. I don't know what. But yeah, I just feel like Hodjo, we saw him go off a bit earlier this time, which was good, and come on a bit later, and then they scored all their tries. But yeah, it was another nail-biting Parra Easter Monday. Here we go again with 5 minutes to go. But then, yeah, Mitch iced it from the sideline. So, but yeah, it was entertaining, put it that way.
Troy?
Yeah, look, these clashes are always tight clashes. We didn't expect it to be, well, we didn't predict it to be a tight clash. We all predicted massive.
I was going to say, who didn't predict it that way? Yeah. Sure.
No, we all predicted massive score lines, and we would have loved to have seen massive score lines, but it wasn't to be. Look, to be winning in the first half, scoring those tries that we did with less completions and less amounts of the ball as well is pretty impressive. The Tigers had all the stats in the first half that they should have been winning the game, but they obviously weren't. And look, Ryan Madison, I think he had he's only played 2 games now, but it was his best game this year. There was a run there where you almost thought he was going to flick that pass out. I think it was to Bryce Cartwright, but he held onto it. I thought maybe he was going to just flick that out, but he didn't. That first try, the 9-7-6-1 combination, outstanding. That's what you want from your spine. And we've been critical of Mitchell Moses' kicking game, but now the more that I listen to the experts, and when you think probably kicking Cooper Cronk, one of the great kickers in our game, or one of the best, there's obviously the game plan of just getting that field position all the time, and that's why we see Mitch do those kicks that he does, and to get that field position, and just basically every kick that he did inside the 20-metre line landed in tries. So, he was probably my star performer, and I like the way where he turned around to the crowd and just put the shh to the Tigers fans who were obviously giving it to him. I don't know if that was down your end. Oh, no, it was down the other end, wasn't it, Hayden? That's right. Yeah, sorry.
He wouldn't have seen it anyway.
No. But, he turned around and just did the finger shh to the Tigers fans.
Can you give us that one more time, Troy?
Shh. So he was probably the star performer. He probably got all the Dally M points as well, but I think, Ryan Madison was probably a close second. It was great to see Sean Russell and Will Penasini back Hayes Dunster back. A few people. It's disappointing to see fans critical of Hayes as well. I mean, it's his first game back in first grade for 2 years. Sure, he's going to make mistakes, but he also did some good things as well. So it's good to see those two back, and congratulations to Sean Lane on his 100th Eels game.
Wonderful. Right. First of all, I want to start off and give credit to the Tigers. As a club, as a team, and as fans, we've been in that position before where everything's gone against us. The media's bagged us out all week and stuff. So it's no surprise. They did the same thing last year, except obviously they came over the points last year. They were always going to turn up and have a red hot crack, which they did. Look, in saying that, I don't think we were ever in a position to lose the game, and I never thought we would lose the game. Even at 22-20, I didn't think we would. In the first half, we seemed to kill them. Once again, giving Penasini early ball, which, we seem to be asking a lot more for and not getting. And we just look like we're going to kill them that right edge. Probably could have scored 2 or 3 more tries in the first half if we iced them a bit better.
On the left end, hopefully.
Yeah, well, we're going on the right edge. Yeah. But as for the tries, look, I've been asking for it. Not even all year, ever since we started this podcast, just dribble the ball in the friggin' in goal. Enough with these crossfield shit kicks. It was obviously a clear tactic of either obviously Staines' fullback positioning that we were going to put those kicks in, but it needs to be more of it every week. Even if you don't score tries off it, you're going to get repeat sets off kicks like that. We now know Mitch has the ability, obviously, to drop them in there. I know Dylan does as well. Sometimes Dylan overhits it, and Hodson can dribble them in there as well. So I think should be a pretty clear tactic. Sorry, my dog's just coming with the muddiest feet ever and put a foot up on my body, paw up on foot. Anyway, continuing on. So last week it was a child, this week it's a dog. For me, it's a little bit of frustration there. And I know you said it's a bad thing we scored, when you look at 3 tries off kicks, but to me also it shows obviously we've got more there that we can work on. So as for some of the performances, I'm going to go into more detail of this. I'll touch on what you said, Troy, about Hayes. Look, it's been 2 years, and even the media in the Arthur's press conference are pretty quick to jump on him. But as I said, it's 2 years away from going come back from a major injury that some people mightn't have come back from. I thought he was solid in the first half, and there were some errors. There was probably a lack of confidence more than anything in the second half. I thought Russell was solid without being superb, but it's good to have some speed in our back line, eh?
Especially when Russell made that break as well.
100%. And we didn't get to see Hayes in open, really, really open space. But I don't know if he slowed down enough a lot. But we haven't got, Wonga doesn't use his speed with his stepping and stuff like that. It's good to actually have some speed in our back line. Bailey doesn't seem to know how to use his speed either. He's meant to be the quickest person in the club, but, he just doesn't seem to use it. A couple of disappointments, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to do this. I gave him a praise last week, but Greg, mate, you've let me down again. He couldn't even come back on. What did he play? 18 minutes?
19.
4 runs. 44. But the bloke I'm going to call out, and it concerns me too. I'm going to open a bit of a can of worms.
Yeah. I know it, yeah.
You know where I'm going? Because I heard the commentary, and you could hear it as plain as day as well. The boys screaming at him to get up, make an effort, to have a go. He's Regan Campbell-Gillard. 2 weeks in a row without Junior Paula, he's lacked the effort. The effort wasn't there. There you go. I had to get that one in. Right, I'm going to bring up his stats now. And look, he made 30-something tackles. I think it was 36 tackles. So credit there. But 10 runs for 89 metres. But it's concerning because I don't know much about it, but I believe that some of the boys wanted him gone out of Penrith. Am I correct, Matt? You might know a bit more about that.
Yeah, so he kind of dug his heels in a bit at Penrith and rubbed a few people the wrong way. So, yeah, I don't know if he's doing it again. We see him before the game snub some of the fans as well. And after games, some days he's good, some days he's not today, boys, and walks straight in. I don't know. He's never got a smile on his face, nothing. He's so hard to judge, but I don't know, the last 2 weeks without Junior there, I don't know whether it's Junior picks him up, but yeah, it's weird to see it happening when he came to Parra. He was should have came here. He was trying so hard to get out of that contract for ages to come to Parra, and Panthers wouldn't allow it. So for him to then sign a 5-year deal and then get out that year was pretty good for us because they're paying 45% of his wage. But yeah, I don't know. To me, he needed to step up without Junior there, and he's the old dog, so he should have been the one with Weramu going, come on, let's go, let's like your next hit up, I'm lining up next. Yeah, I saw a couple times Mitch yell at him and point to a spot where he should go, and I don't know. It was frustrating to watch for mine because I was going to bring it up too. But yeah, looking at his stats, that's like you got half your back line running more meters than you, and you're the front rower. So
the stats show that he wasn't involved in the game, but the attitude obviously is the problem. Because I'll say now, you said Mitch, I heard Gutho swearing, and it was swearing as well. And I know, we had the drama of people swearing at each other last year when they were into each other and stuff, and the media made a big thing out of it. But
a couple of years ago,
was it? Mitch. Time flies when you're having fun. But
against the Tigers as well, I think.
No, it was against Manly.
Yeah. I remember that Thursday.
Mitch told someone to get up.
Yeah,
we're down by 50.
But the thing is, it just shows a concern area for me. And when the effort isn't there and his stats aren't, like I said, it just could have been that he made those 36 tackles. It could have been we were defending lots when he was on the field. But I don't know, it's a concern. And when you look at someone like Hopgood, and you've been calling for this for ages, Troy. We thought they might have made a change. Hopgood might have started, but Hopgood came off the bench and played in the middle for 14 runs, 128 metres in 52 minutes. So obviously that's why Greg didn't come back on. But it could be an option. Obviously, Paulo's back next week. Paulo and Campbell Gillard start. Hopgood off the bench. Hopgood comes on and plays in the middle. Can play lock. Madison can obviously play in the middle as well. But if Campbell Gillard keeps up these poor performances, then I think the boys are going to be fired up for next week. So I don't think he will, but he could find himself back on the bench. That's just my 2 cents worth anyway. But anyone else going to add on?
I don't want, to me, obviously Hopgood's not 100%. That's why he started on the bench.
We can see how he's Hemi supported as well.
So I don't want to. He was bought to do a role, and I don't want him to get stuck in that position that he is now. He was there to add to the attack. Play that Isaiah Yeo kind of footy, but I don't want him to get stuck as a bench forward when he's such a talented attacker. To have all three on at the same time running those angles like we saw against Cronulla, we can't just, I don't know. To me, Kai Rodwell in reserve grade was amazing. The thing that concerned me the most about yesterday was watching New South Wales Cup and looking at the depth we got there to our players now.
So do you reckon Kai Rodwell's ready to make his debut?
Yeah, about his 8th debut, But just watching them, they even struggled. If it wasn't, I hate to say it, but if it wasn't for Jake Arthur, we would have lost that game too. So
again in reserve grade.
He's been unbelievable in reserve grade the last couple of weeks. He just I don't know. It's worrying me, especially when you know how much I love Wanga. You can probably hear me talking now. He lives that close to me, but just watching him in reserve grade yesterday frustrated me because it was he should be cut. Look at Dallin Watene-Zelezniak playing reserve grade for Warriors. Look what he did. Wanga's up against reserve graders, Fijian international, and he made it look like he was a park footballer. He done some good things, but he done some bad. He threw a mad cutout ball, but it was forward.
I think he's mentally checked. Yeah,
he needs to. Yeah, I don't know. I just worry about. There's some good signs, but BA needs to hurry up and make a call with the top 30. He can't leave those 3 spots open much longer. But we need to do something. Even reserve grade struggled yesterday.
Look, I think with RCG, I think it's a little bit of a competition thing with Junior, because Junior's a benchmark, right? So he's the Origin player, he's the Test player. So if Junior's right up here, then RCG will want to be up there as well. But you also need someone like Wiramu Greg pushing him as well. And as you said, look, saying, he'll take that hit up, and I want to match it, or I want to beat it, and then he's going to step up as well.
The frustrating thing with that, Troy, is watching reserve grade. knowing that you look at reserve grade and the way they played yesterday and those players, and then going, as a first grader, well, no one's challenging me. Then you got BA in the press conference saying how RCG is one of the best forwards and we need him on the park at all times. He knows he's not going to get dropped.
Yeah, that's true. Happen. And we even said during the chat, in our chat group, that players like Luca Moretti,
100%, he killed it.
Yeah, and also we've got Matt Dury in reserve grade as well, who we probably all thought that he was going all right.
He should have been instead of. I'm sorry, but he should have been that bench spot instead of Makatoa.
Yeah.
That's
to me. Makatoa, yeah, I like him as a guy, but he's another one that needs to get angry.
I would have had Hopgood starting. Madison, either it doesn't really matter, but Hopgood could have started in the front row, and then you could have had obviously him there instead of Greg or Makatoa. It wouldn't really matter, but I think the Greg experiment's over. To be honest, I think he goes from starting this week to being obviously. Well, have we released the teams yet? I've never looked at the team.
The only change is Junior comes in and
Tuesday snuck up on me this week.
Drops to the bench and Murchie drops off.
Murchie drops off, yeah. Which is surprising because Dury's been playing absolute better, but Makatoa maintains his spot, but Dury doesn't get a run.
Dury needs to be back in the side.
What? He was he killed it in reserve grade yesterday. He's been killing it all year for us. I don't get the mindset. Why buy players if you're not going to use them?
Even Hopgood, you just mentioned it. Even buying players, you saw how well the rotation and energy of Madison coming off the bench last season, leading us into a grand final was. You think of that game at Penrith, comes off the bench, scored, a try or a double. That type of energy is something we need. Hopgood, as you mentioned, against the Sharks game, those three players on the field, Reed and Campbell, Gillard, Junior Paulo, and Hopgood, it's a working combination. They're scoring points. It is an issue. It is a big issue.
It is, but I couldn't drop Madison after Monday. I couldn't put Madison back to the bench after Monday. In 80 minutes, he was superb. I actually believe he was our best player. I know Moses obviously did some magic, but if we're going to talk about hard work for 80 minutes, Madison was the best player on the field. But we'll go through. Is everyone done with us? So let's quickly go through our player of the match first, and we'll move on to the team, and we'll discuss a bit more about our thoughts on the team list and stuff. But I just said it. I thought Madison, superb. If I get his stats up, I've just gone to this week's team because I forgot it was Tuesday. Feels like Monday, guys. Just put that out there. Madison ran for, 198 metres, something like that. 191 metres, 20 runs, 42 tackles in 73 minutes. So didn't play 80, but pretty superb effort for someone in only, his third game back. So, Who, Hayden, you already spoiled yours, Moses?
Yeah, Mitch, 4 try assists, golden boot all night. Mitch gets it for mine, and obviously the shush, the silencer was good.
Troy, can you do that for us? Just missed it. Shh. Thank you, Troy. Troy?
Okay,
Sorry, Troy.
Just echo Hayden's thoughts there. Mitchell obviously was outstanding, and obviously echo your thought. I mean, great minds think alike, and Ryan Madison was probably the player of the game. Just quickly back to RCG 1 point. I know it's probably not an excuse or a reason, but there was a 11-day.
Bring up the Appy.
The what?
I thought you were going to bring up his only job was the best Appy.
No. The 11-day turnaround. It's a long time, obviously.
But he didn't do it last week. He didn't crack
11. That was
11.
11 days ago. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Mitch followed by Will. We saw it they need to in hour and a half just pass the ball to Will.
Can I just say you've mentioned Will, I've mentioned Will all season. Does anybody think Will could end up being our player of the year?
Potentially.
It's looking like it. Early on, it is looking like, and we talk about
the first couple of games, you probably would have said Hopgood, He was probably the standout player for the first couple of games. But yeah, obviously, Will's been pretty consistent. You obviously don't know who the player's player is going to be, but he did make an error, but he's only young as well. So yeah, he's just getting that, as you said, that early ball and then beating that inside defender.
Yep. I've got one thing to say that I forgot to say when we went through the game wrap. It seemed to me, and like I said, I never thought we'd lose the game. It seemed to me once we got to a 22-6 lead, there was a pretty clear directive from the coaching box just to shut out the game. And not, we didn't see us trying to throw the ball around. We didn't see us we were attacking from our own end in the first half. We were entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether that was a respect thing for the Tigers, maybe because we've been there, maybe because, some of the players have got mates in the team. Obviously, Brooks has been under a fair bit of scrutiny as well, one of Mitch's best mates. Could have been that. Or maybe it was just because we haven't been able to shut out games over the last few years. Maybe it was because our defence hasn't been good over the last 5 rounds. But it looks to me like we didn't try and score tries. We just ran our sets. We did nothing smart. We did nothing dumb. We didn't try and move the ball, and we just kicked to the corners and backed it with our chase. And, for the majority of the game, that worked. Second half, that worked. It was only that last 10, 15 minutes when they started to score tries. And as Gutho said in his post match interview on Fox Sports, it was very hard to defend the kind of football that the Tigers were playing around. They were playing that razzle-dazzle football. And think back to the Parramatta team of 2009. We weren't a great football team.
Razzle-dazzle.
We were a razzle-dazzle football team. Razzle-dazzle football got us all those wins in a row and got us to a grand final. The moment we went back to playing structured football in the first half of that grand final, we played like shit.
Yeah.
It's very hard football to defend. I actually thought our defensive structure looked very solid in the first half. We defended our line a fair bit early on as well for that first really 8-9 minutes, didn't we? So, I'm not concerned about the game. We should have beaten them all. The Tigers.
They only scored off that other Mitch try assist.
Yeah, well, and let's talk about that as well if you want to. That wasn't Mitch's fault. Gutho ran the complete wrong line.
Yeah, 100%. He was supposed to catch that ball and he wasn't even there.
100%. Anyway.
And RCG cost me my bold prediction too.
By not turning up?
No, two tries.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. He's got to turn up for that, Troy. All right, let's get on to this week. Obviously, a big clash Sunday night. I'll ask you the question first. I'll be booing Reid. Hayden?
No, I won't be booing Reid.
Troy?
Well, it depends on what he does, but probably not.
Matt?
I won't boo him as he runs out, but I'll tell him before the game, are you ready for this? Because he's going to get – I already know now, it's just going to be – that crowd's just going to go mental when he runs out.
Yeah, well,
it's going to be half, but I reckon he's going to get cop the biggest booing.
Oh, there'll be 5 or 6,000.
Any player coming back to the club,
But the difficult part is going to be because he's the captain, so he runs out first. Is it going to be booing him or is it going to be booing the team?
I'm going to put it out there now that it will be bigger than booing Jake Arthur.
Well, no one really
but as I said again, he's the captain. He runs it. He runs the team out. So is it booing him or is it booing the team? That's the biggest
thing. When you get if he was a fullback, for example, you get a chance to boo him individually. Hookers, you don't really get a chance to boo individually unless he does something grubby or scores a try or something.
Mate, he's playing for Dogs now. Have you seen how grubby he's doing?
Well, I've seen the grubby shit he's been doing. So here's my point. I will be booing him.
That's what's frustrating me at the moment because I know the player he is, I know the kid he is, and the shit he's doing at the Dogs is just not him.
What about all those years of service, Adam, that he did it?
Mate,
I think fuck.
He took the money. He took the money. I'm going to say it.
I'm going to say it. That told him he was never going to make it. I'm
going to say it now. He came up and gave my mum the biggest hug, said he regretted it, all that shit, and then all of a sudden he's just proud to be. He doesn't even wish our players now happy 100th game or happy 200th game, but you know what I mean?
That's
the frustrating thing for me. All those years, and he didn't even say to Mitch, "Oh, congratulations on your 200 game." He might have texted him, but he didn't do it publicly like every other player did.
Well, he might get in
just
trouble.
put my
for
dogs and put a training fucking picture of himself.
He might get in trouble for it off Gus.
Yeah, but
Wood,
that might
Dane
be
Laurie. But
Dane Laurie, the X Factor.
Yeah, I might actually boo him because
Jordan Rankin, the X Factor.
He did say last year that he's going to come on a podcast or come to the Parra Cave for a podcast chat. But
mate, everyone said that to you.
He never.
They're not allowed to. You know that.
He never returned the favour, and so I might boo him actually. Yeah.
So Troy to boo everyone that doesn't come to his Parra Cave. Breaking news. Hayden, you had something. What did you have?
I forget now.
His favourite player is about to get booed. What is it, Hayden? Go on.
I forget now. Troy made me forget for his talk.
What's the number on that back of that Canterbury jumper? Is it 9, Hayden?
I like Reed. I like the hey Reed when he was trading and he gave Hayden the thumbs up and Hayden goes to betrayal.
Yeah. No, it's the jersey is signed by I think it's Matt Frawley when he was at the Dogs. So it's a Matt Frawley training jersey.
Yeah.
That's going to be worth something, that one. All right. This week's game, as I said, Sunday at 4:05. Parramatta versus Canterbury. Should be pretty much a sellout, you think. The Dogs fans are out in big numbers, as they usually do there at Combank Stadium. Starting team's the same, except obviously for Junior Paulo coming back in the starting lineup with Greg dropping back to the bench, where he should have kept dropping. Bench of Hopgood, Hands, Greg, Makatoa, Arthur as usual in the 18, Dory 19, Ogden 20, Murchie 21, and Wonga in the 22. Look, I wouldn't be surprised,
I reckon Dory.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Ogden comes in against his old club. We know Arthur likes to pull that shit.
Yeah, so against his old club.
Dury's old club as well, is it? Well, there you go. There's a chance of either of them. So I think Greg goes. I know it's probably harsh to drop a player from starting to being fully dropped, but I guess he did it to Wonga. But for a front row, it's pretty unheard of. But he just doesn't provide enough for me. And the Bulldogs aren't exactly the big bodies they used to be. They used to have that big, solid forward pack. They're not that big. Really, are they?
They got Kikau and Pangai Jr. back this week.
I really need to look at the team.
So you might want to check the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
They've got about 4 front rowers coming back.
They're not exactly the smallest players in the league.
Well, they got Jaden Ockabor coming on and playing the second row off the bench, so I'm not that worried about that.
Pangai Jr.'s back. That's you need someone in there.
I'm not that worried. They're not that big. They're not that big.
Tavita and Kikau Cats as well, are they?
Yeah, 100%. I could take them all. Okay, they're pretty big. But look, going through that team, where do you think we win this game, Hayden?
On the field.
Thanks, Joe.
I think there's probably we've liked to use this word a bit lately, but I think there's more X factor in our halves. Everyone talks up Matt Burton's game, but
sorry. Are you saying we don't need more X factor?
Oh, I mean,
I thought you were going to go down the effort line there.
No. But I think a Dylan Brown is slowly starting to step up. We've seen how good Mitch is playing recently, so I think against Matt Burton and Kyle Flanagan's okay, but mainly Matt Burton and his kicking game. I think our kicking game is going to need to be really on. But as you mentioned, a lot of their forwards back. Another big battle in the forwards, especially the 2 returning forwards in Paulo and Pangai Jr. So that's probably the biggest battle there on the field, the battle of the props.
Cool. Matt?
Yeah, what's that edge that Souths ran right against? I'm going down there every day of the week. All night long. They got no Addo car. Just go down that edge.
Was that the Avarillo side?
No, it was the Alamodi.
Don't go Avarillo side. Go the other way.
It was Alamodi edge.
Yeah.
And I think I'll have Burns on it this week as well. So
yeah, I'd be going down there all night. Who's on that edge? It's
Braden Burns and Alamodi, which will be
Will and Hayes.
That's their left edge. So
yeah. So just give the ball to Will.
Early ball to Will
and follow him. That's where I'd be going. And don't let Burton get any attacking kicks.
Yep.
Don't let him get within that 50-metre mark.
Yeah, no, just echo Matty's thoughts there. Just pressure on Matty Burton for his kicking game. Obviously, we see those tower bombs that he puts up. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure Gutho can handle those ones. Probably had a lot of traffic to Pangai Jr. as well. Hasn't played at all this year, so coming back from injury. So he might be a bit rusty, so tire him out a bit. But, yeah, I just think our backline is probably better than theirs, especially, as Hayden said, in the halves, definitely. No Addo Carr for the Bulldogs, which is an advantage. We saw that combination last year, scored tries against us. So they won't be doing the crossfield kicks because they probably won't have the speed out wide. Look, it's going to be hopefully a sunny afternoon, so some dry track football like we saw yesterday as well. We scored 28 points yesterday, so hopefully we can score around that figure even more as well.
Yeah, wonderful. It's actually 70% chance of rain on Sunday, Troy, so I'm glad you looked at the weather report before you did that. It's not. It's going to be a sunny overcast day, Troy. It's okay. All right.
A sunny overcast day.
Okay. So is that singlets or hoodies?
It's actually just overcast. I was looking at Sunday. Just overcast. I bring it.
Look, you guys keep on chatting. I'll get the weather report.
Okay, thank you. I'm also 2 hours away. So, look, yeah, I think he's pretty much said it there, but I think we just need a bit more patience. I've been asking for patience for a long time. Try and build our sets up. Try and work over their middles as well, obviously with those big boys back. Now, I know that. Yeah, we saw them obviously have a fair bit of success, South Sydney, down that edge. So, obviously, we're going to attack that edges, but I think we just need to be a bit more clinical with our backline moves as well.
Is that Kick-Out's edge as well?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I
think it could be Kick-Out's edge as well. So he'll be gassed after 5 minutes. So
yeah, 100%. But yeah, for me, I've said it a long time, and they don't seem to listen to me. They do seem to listen to some things we say on this podcast. So there is a supply somewhere, but we've got to start kicking the fucking ball on fourth tackle. Like,
he done it yesterday.
And
he done it.
Can we do one more thing?
Mitch done it yesterday, straight after points on the fourth.
Yeah, after points. Every time after points it should be. But it needs to be all the time. Like, we know Reed's going to do it. Reed's going to look for those sneaky 40-20s.
Yeah.
By us putting that early kick in and turning them around and getting up there, it takes Burton's torpedoes out of play. And if you don't think they weren't watching, I know Hayes made a couple of errors. Will made one as well. They're going to have those bombs coming at them all night. They're not going to go to Gutho.
Yeah.
So, obviously, pressure's got to be there. I think this is the time where we do say it's not my bold prediction, but we do need to see Hands come on and match it and play more minutes than Hodgson. He went close on the weekend, not quite. But Hands needs to play more minutes, especially against someone like Reed, because they will kill us through the middle if not. And that's pretty much all my thoughts on the game. What were we going to say, Troy? One more thing?
Can we stop? Yeah, can we stop with the short dropouts?
They're working.
Oh, look, yeah, I know that, but sometimes they don't, and you're like 10 metres, or the opposition's 10 metres away from your line.
That's fine. And they were talking about this on I was on Triple M, one of them the other day, and, someone old like you was blowing up about it. And look,
probably, what, an expert?
An expert, yeah, I suppose an expert. Hey, after watching the New South Wales Cup and watching Spud Carroll do commentary, I'll never call anyone an expert again. It was the most painful experience of my life. Anyway, hi Spud, if you're listening. But
is he a cat too, Adam?
No, he was pretty hard. He probably still had He's probably harder than what Rumour Geek is. So, but just for those defensive, it gets your defensive line set. So even if you take that. Unless it's a 2-point game, obviously. Like, they got a penalty pretty much in front of the post. It was at the Tigers the other day. They didn't take 2. So, first 10 minutes, they decided to tap and go. So, it doesn't mean the team's always going to take the 2. I know it's a guaranteed 2 points, but your defensive line can be set and you're good to go.
But we did see what happened when we did kick it long, drop it out long. And
yeah, because we've got shot that many times, they didn't expect it. And Charlie Staines is good for an error or 10 a game.
Anyway, going to the weather report, Adam, Sunday, low of 13 degrees, high of 25. Overcast in the morning, but by the time kickoff is there, it'll be overcast with a chance of sunshine as well. So 25 will be the hottest temperature during the day, and that'll be about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So
okay, so at 4 o'clock, what's it going to be, Drew?
Probably about 23, 22.
What about 6 o'clock when I'm walking out? Do I need to jump from when I'm walking out?
No, you'll be right, mate. You'll be right. But just take one in case.
What about my 2-year-old son? Does he need a jumper?
Yeah, definitely. Be the responsible adult. Yeah.
Thanks, Drew. Thanks, Tim Bailey. All right, let's move on. We're going to get bowled. Have we got anything else to add?
Drips and drops on rooftops.
All right, I'm going first. All right. I'm going with a scoreline of 32-18.
Fuck.
Is that what you were going to go?
Exactly.
Well, get your own score, freak. My first try scorer is going to be, actually, based off the game he had last week, I'm going to say Ryan Madison. And my bold prediction is for Reid Mahoney to spend 10 minutes in the sin bin.
Oh!
That's okay. Matty could say Reid Marnie.
Yeah, Mahoney, Marnie, whatever. Fuck him. You're dead to me.
Stop Police Academy.
All right, Entertain House Hayden, what do you got?
I'm going to hit you with the bold prediction first because I haven't been getting up lately, so I thought I'd go a bit bolder with one that I could see.
RCG 170 meters.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go.
Three tries.
Did you say 3 tries? Oh, mate, you're
RCG.
close. I'm going to go with Parramatta's Shawns to combine for 3 tries. I reckon one of the boys should get a double, and I reckon both of them will score. So the Shawns, which is Sean Lane and Sean Russell, we combine.
Spell their name different.
And I reckon you should pick which Sean's going to get the double.
Come on, they're both Shawns.
No, you don't get that.
Different.
You don't get that.
I can't say the Shawns because they spell it different.
Yeah, you don't get that.
Mate,
No.
3 tries between them.
Just say 3 tries combine Lane and Russell. There you go.
Oh, fine.
And who's going to get the double?
Difference. If I can't say Sean, the Lanes and the Russells, sounds like I'm inviting them over. I'm not.
Sounds like your parents' friends. The Lanes and the Russells are coming over.
The Lanes and the Russells are combining on Sunday night for 3 tries.
Sunday afternoon. It's more of an afternoon game.
I know, an overcast afternoon.
So is that 3? Is that 3 tries to Russell off?
Well, that's
Sean Lane's try assist.
If Sean scores a hat trick, it counts because they're combining for 3 tries. But I believe that one of them will get 2 and one of them will get 1. So
they get 1 and a half each.
Could be an outside. Could be an outside inside ball too, couldn't it?
We'll see. All right, let me get on with it. Mitchell Moses' first try scorer. He's coming off a great game. He didn't score against the Tigers. I think he'll be filthy with himself not scoring against them. So I reckon back at home, first try scorer Mitch. And I do think this game will be close. I think they've got a lot of players back for the Dogs. I think they'll make it a tight contest. We should win at home, though. So I'm going to go with a scoreline of 22-16, Parramatta by 6. They always seem to be close games this season.
All right, Troy. Fire away.
Okay, scoreline.
Sorry. Go Tim Bailey. Fire away.
Drips and drops on rooftops. Look, the scoreline will be 36-20. Sorry, 37-20.
Oh, God.
We're going to kick that field goal at 36-20 or we...
Hang on. First try scorer, I will go. I'll stick with Will. He got the second try last week, so actually put $1 on him to get the first try last week, but missed out there. But he'll get the first try this week. And a special mention, I think Josh Hodgson will do one of those sneak over from dummy half. So teach Reedy a trick or 2.
Is that your bold prediction or is that just a special
No, that's just a special mention. And the bold prediction will be, it'll be, what score did I say? 37-20. So it'll be it'll be about 14-10 at 14-10 just before half time. And Mitchell
not writing an essay.
So all he's saying is a Mitchell Moses field goal before halftime was his goal prediction.
All right.
Well, I'm going right through and just saying, 14-10 just before half time, and then Mitchell pop a field goal.
That's pretty bold. So Mitchell Moses to make it 15-10 at halftime.
That's right. Just for practice and just to, yeah.
Oh, fuck me. Thanks, Troy.
We're a family on this show.
All right. So I'm changing.
That was well thought out.
I've got to change 2 of my fucking predictions now. So I'm going to go 34-16. Seems someone took my other score. So 34-16. I got Hayes as my first try scorer.
Parham. Yep.
Dunster.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. My bad. And my bold prediction seems Adam took my one. I'm going to say Reed gets sent off.
Sent off.
I'm going to say head-eye tackle or spear tackle. He's going to get sent off. He's going to do something.
Reedy spear tackle.
He's going to do something stupid and get sent off.
I was going more professional foul, but all right.
Mate, you stole my bold prediction. I don't have time to think of a new one, so I'm going to change it up.
What about someone rips his headgear off and throws it into the crowd or something?
Because that's going to be every tackle.
Someone rips his boot off and throws it into the crowd.
That'll be every tackle too, mate.
Have you written my score down correctly this week? The last 3 weeks, you've written my score wrong. Last week you wrote 36-16. I said 30-16. The week before, every week.
Look, yeah, but anyway, did you get it right?
Points out further. Oh well, no.
It's 22-16. Okay.
All right.
Look,
Mum, Dad, please stop.
22-16, done.
22-16. The Russell and Lane family to come over for dinner. All right. Yeah. That's all we've got time for this week. I said obviously a massive game. It's one of those ones we kind of circled in at the start of the year. We're looking forward to. So can't wait to get out there. Got me booing throat ready and ready to go.
Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of the Talking Parra podcast. You can catch this on the Entertain House YouTube channel, so please subscribe to that one, and Apple and Spotify for the podcast as well. And just before we go, we're recording this on the Tuesday, the 11th of April, and the 12th of April, which is the Wednesday, tomorrow. It's a happy birthday to the Parramatta Eels, 76 years old. So happy birthday to the Eels. And catch this on Apple and Spotify as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Go Parra.
Go Parra. Peace.